When I feel what I feel, sometimes it's hard to tell you so. You may not be in the mood to learn what you think you know. There are times when I find you wanna keep yourself from me, but I don't ever
Long as you got your eyes, got your trippy on them private jets, taking trips. Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today. Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think you're playing with. I'm just telling myself to keep playing this record back over and over again. Swear that you changed, but I know that's the end. I want you on the scene. You know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one time. Got tired of your shit, you almost your mind. Long stay, call your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold and rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause our house is not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? You know what you got is good, that's why you refuse to let me walk out to life. You refuse to match up with my vibe. You keep wasting my time, you keep wasting my time. Don't you on the scene? Think you know your girl's so funny to be. That's why you think I left by one time. Got tired of your shit, you almost lost your mind. Long stay, call your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold and rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause our house is not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? You know
stop crying. I don't know how I allow you to treat me this way and still I stay. See, my days are cool without you. Without you. My heart can't take no more. I keep on running back. See, my days are cool without you. Without you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. Baby, I don't know why you wanna do me wrong. See, when I'm home, I'm all alone, and you are always gone. Boy, you know I really love you, I can't deny. I can't see how you could bring me to so many tears after all these years. See, my days are cold without you. My days, yeah. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running to you. See, my days are cold without you. Without you. Without you. I keep on running back to you. I trusted you, I trusted you. So sad, what love will make you do. All the things that we accept, be the things that we regret. So all of my ladies, hear me, come on, sing with me. See, when I get straight to leave, you always tell me that you need me. And I'm weak cause I believe you, and I'm mad because I love you. So I stop and think that maybe you can learn to appreciate me. Then it all remains the same, that you ain't never gonna change, never gonna change, never gonna change. My days are cold, baby, and though my heart can't take no more, no more. See, my days are cold without you, and though my heart can't take no more, no more.
Something about the way that you talk to me, even when you're not around, I feel you, boy. I feel you, boy. Tangled in your love and your energy. Perhaps it was the way that you smile. I see you, boy. Oh, I need you, boy. 'Cause I've been waiting my whole life to find someone like you. Find someone like you. Yeah, 'cause I've been waiting my whole life to find someone like you. To find someone like you. Baby, I want this to last forever. Oh yeah. Baby, I want this. Can we make this last forever? Oh yes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Can we make it?
Whole team shining stars, big dip. Get a lot of haystack gang in this city.
Good morning. What's today, y'all? Wednesday or Tuesday? Wednesday. Damn, Wednesday. Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Come on in. Hit that like button on your way in. Okay. All right. Good morning, Trey. We're gonna get it started, y'all. We're gonna get it started because day 2 testimony has begun. Of course, we're gonna try to get into that, but we gotta finish off day 1. Like I say, anybody in the bushes, anybody in the chat that has any questions, I'm not going to, unless I need to, I'm not going to, I guess everybody that's here today was here yesterday. So y'all know what we're getting into. So unless there's any questions, I'm just going to get started. I'm going to get started because I want to get through what we did not see yesterday or hear yesterday. And then we're going to head on over to today's testimony. Let me speak. We only got a couple of people to speak. Let me see. Hey, Ebrooks. Hey, Slay. Slay, you get some rest, sweetie. Get some rest. We love you. You in the palm trees. Okay. Hey, Sonia. Hey, V Renee, girl. Hey, Lady Marie. Hey, Miss Carla. Trying to make sure I get it right. Hey, yours, shooter. You at work, girl? Behave. Behave. Hey, Joe. Welcome. 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 Yeah, I don't know what the truth is. Hopefully he'll show up. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started, y'all. So, like I say, anybody got any questions, I will be watching the chat. Y'all just put your questions in the chat and I will try to answer them. Let's continue. Let's start where we ended on yesterday. Let me see. Ooh. Love you too, boo. Get some rest. Hey, Sanjia, at work in the bushes, middle vacation. Oh, happy Wednesday. Same to you, Sanjia. Welcome, girl. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. In the bushes. All right. Let's continue where we ended on yesterday, y'all. Wait a minute. It done skipped back. Hold on, y'all. This is what I can't do. Look like it skipped to the live for today, but we're not gonna start right there. Let me do this. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Did I pin y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for your girl. Support the channel. I guess I did not pin. I did. I'm gonna have to pin the hold on, y'all. Yeah, it did. It jumped to the one from today, but we're gonna get into that one later. Now, see, I don't even know where we ended yesterday. I don't know.
But this will do something he never done.
All right. Let's go back. Okay, I see where we ended yesterday, y'all. We're gonna get to it.
When Jay gets there, Justin
I know y'all hear her talking, but ignore her right now.
right before Jay gets to fight.
Hi, Juicy Kim. Hey, Tots Kitchen. Thanks for joining. Y'all be sure to hit the like button for your girl. Anybody want to hit the link? The link is on my community wire on this channel as well as the T channel, okay?
I'll draw the question this time around. Right off every time. There's, ask you, it's testified earlier that, the apps that you went to or that you didn't go to, or basically that you talked to the cops about, Jack and the other two, are those apps that you had on your phone? You had Jack on your phone?
I had two of the three that you.
Two of the three, they're actually on your phone. And did you ever share anything that you received from Jack or Grindr?
Hold on. Tots Kitchen say true. I know his dead. They are very well known. Really? Well, I do know that according to the mom, we listened to the mom's testimony yesterday. I'm thinking the dad made, they pretty well off. They pretty, the family is, because I think the dad and the mom was like they were paying off his college and things of that nature. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Tots Kitchen. Well, thank you for joining. My prayers are with them, honey. Cause the thing about it is, like, this young man, they have declared him deceased, and he was missing. It's been 2 years. He's still missing. So, but my thing is, it's got to be a whole nother level of pain because they have not found his body. Like, I don't know if they have, but to me, honestly, if they ain't found the body, they probably hadn't done a proper burial. Oh, they own it. Oh my God. I knew they had to be pretty well off. I knew that, but yeah, this is sad. This is sad. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Tots Kitchen.
Jaylee or anything like that, or any information or anybody that you had met on Grindr and talked to Jaylee about that individual or set anybody up or anything like that?
Not to my knowledge,
Okay.
no.
And Mr. Fears, I want to make sure, in addition to what we pointed out, as far as conversations that you and Jaylee had on, I believe that would have been, you identified Monday or May 28th, 2022. You would agree with me, would you not, that I went through all these conversations or each one of these, it's going to be certain times that y'all had conversations about sexual activity, sexual preference, things like that, right? Some, not a whole lot, but some. Similar to what I pointed out just a few moments.
You said sexual activities and
Not
sexual
activities,
preferences.
preferences, things of that nature, conversations between you and Jay Lee, consistent with what we just talked about a few minutes ago.
I'm
Correct.
confused.
You don't believe so?
I said I'm confused.
All right. You first testified, I want to go through it again. You first testified that y'all didn't talk about sexual preferences, didn't talk about partners, didn't talk about certain things, about meetings,
I think we
how
didn't.
you hooked up, things of that nature. Talked about whether or not you've given that information to police officers on the 12th of June, 2022. You pointed out.
Cremated, wait a minute, hold on, let me cut my other device down. Cremated by who, Ty's Kitchen? Because you mean cremated by the guy? Because from what I understand, they supposedly, allegedly, they have him like buying a shovel or something. So I thought maybe he had, kind of buried him somewhere or something. So who cremated him? The guy? Let me know.
Y'all had in that conversation. Well, there is conversations consistent with what we discovered here on cross-examination.
That's not sexual preference, though.
Sexual preference, sexual conduct, sexual conversations about certain things.
Okay.
A lot of it, right?
You said a lot of it?
Yeah. Within your chat history, during the 4 months that y'all knew each other. Talked about a lot of sex, I guess.
We talking about a lot of sex? I don't think we did. I don't think we talked about a lot of sex.
4 months. I'll tell you. Are you ready? Is that yours? Okay. All right. Now, prior to coming in here, you between yourself and law enforcement, correct?
Correct.
Now, the conversation that you had with, or the cross-examination you had with Mr. Horan about statements that were made to University Police Department,
Okay.
that was different times.
I had 2 different interviews.
So at first you were responding about that interview that you had just watched, correct, in review, to refresh your recollection.
Correct.
All right, because how long ago, that was back in the summer of 2022?
Correct.
All right, now, did those law enforcement officers, whether they were University Police Department or Oxford Police Department, come find you to get information from you?
Both of them did. Both sets of
Why
officers.
did they do that? How did they even know
I'm the
you
one
had
who-
information relevant to this case?
I'm the one who called them.
You called them. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, the information that you provided to them, they ended up, UPD as well as OPD, got information from you, correct?
Mhm.
And it was the Oxford Police Department that actually recorded that interview with you.
Correct.
All right, so had you seen that interview prior to coming here today?
No.
Now, the information that you provided them about the conversation that you had with Jay Lee on Snapchat
Mhm.
That morning of July 8th at 5:58, and then prior to that at 5:21, did you have to look at anything to refresh your recollection as to what was said?
No.
Now then, the conversations that you had with Jay Lee while y'all were friends, I believe. Yeah, first of all, you can go into the conversation with Jay Lee on cross-examination. That's what we argued about the whole time. Oh, you talking about Snapchat? Okay, I thought you were talking about. the
Yeah, I
conversation.
think we're good there anyway.
I was talking about Jason, that's his record. Yes, sir. I believe your testimony was that you were friends, y'all met in May, and then from May to July the 8th, y'all became closer and closer.
We were building a friendship.
You explained that to the jury.
Yes.
During that time, did you have many conversations with him?
Yeah.
Through Snapchat,
Yeah.
iMessage, or whatever? Correct. Did y'all meet on any of those apps?
Not at all.
Okay. And I think you were saying that you explained to law enforcement about the apps that were used by LGBTQ interested people in order to make connections.
Law enforcement came to me, both UPD and OPD, and they knew absolutely nothing about how we commit at all. So I had to explain to them.
Now, can you tell the jury whether, now looking back, thinking about conversations that you had with Jay Lee prior to July the 8th, whether y'all had any robust or significant conversations about how he uses social media to make connections?
About how he uses social media to make connections.
Yes. On his own?
Hey, Natasha. Okay, girl, have a good day at work.
Had a conversation about him reaching out to people. No.
All right, and then how long has it been since you've seen messages that you had with your friend Jay in between May and July of 2022 and now?
How long has it been since I saw? I don't go back and look at the messages. It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years.
Since y'all just showed me that text thread.
One conversation about sexual activity. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Say it more.
When Mr. Horan asked you about a specific conversation back in June 2022,
Mhm.
Did you remember that? Did you remember that conversation?
Did I remember the conversation after reading it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But prior to being confronted with, you didn't recall that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I wanted to be more specific about when I asked you earlier about, do you recall whether you had significant conversations with Jay Lee about his using social media to make connections? Do you remember that question?
Did you just ask me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
On cross-examination, you were asked about whether you had conversations with Jay Lee. Actually, you were asked about two apps, Jack and Grindr,
Correct.
and DLK, which you didn't know anything about.
Mhm.
All right. Can you recall right now, tell the jury whether you and Jay Lee had any conversations about his use of those two sites, Jack and Grindr, in order to make hookups for himself?
We never had a conversation saying, hey, I use this app, or he never had a conversation with me saying, hey, I use these apps to hook up with people.
So the primary interest in that was you explaining to law enforcement what the.
Yes.
That's all I have.
All right, yes, we can be finally excused.
Yes.
No, Your Honor. Just stay right there for just a minute. Fingers. Look for the jury. It's 4:47. We're not gonna get any substantial way back before 5 o'clock. I'm gonna let y'all be excused tonight. Don't take that line, go eat somewhere here, not. Good, I think, anyway. I had never been there. I'll give you the report back tomorrow. I'm gonna instruct you once again. Don't discuss the case, no matter what discuss the case with you. Don't press or form an opinion on the best case anyway. You want to try to discuss the case with you. Don't stop. You make the decision. So have a good evening. We will start back.
Okay, y'all, that's it for yesterday. Let's move on to today. Give me just a minute.
Concern and anxiety
Oh, Lord.
in Oxford,
Mm-mm,
Mississippi
that's not what-
tonight as police search for a man who's been missing for several days. And that's a recess through the alarming chain of events.
Computer wanna run slow, y'all. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, Reggie. Good to see you, sweetie. Gonna put it on. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Like I said, y'all have any questions? If y'all have any questions, put it in the chat for me. Ooh, this laptop want to run slow today. That's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Hey, Miss Ann. Good to see you, boo.
Pass me, okay? I got you. Do you have your license and insurance? All right, where do you work at? Winchester? All right. Do you have a license or is it just at home or? Okay. Were you born in Mississippi? Okay. 871269. And what's your first name? What's your date of birth?
Like the audio off on this one. Let me see. Mm-mm. Let me see something, y'all. Let me go back to something. It's crazy. Let's see. Long Law and crime trials. All right, I'm gonna pull it up this way. Cause it look like they on lunch again. It look like they on lunch again from what I'm seeing, but we gotta get caught up. This is where it started, but it was like the audio was off. We just gonna let it play. Ooh.
Hey, okay. I got you. Do you have your license and insurance? All right, where do you work at? Winchester? All right. Yep. Your license, or is it just at home? Or? Okay. Were you born in Mississippi? Okay, what's your social? 871269. And what's your first name? What's your name, bird? All right. Same time, I'll be right back with you, okay? Okay, Mr. Carter, just slow down for me, okay? Make sure you keep your license on you, okay? All right.
Was that the extent of your interaction with the officer that morning?
Yes, sir.
Anything else on that video show you or Tim Harrington?
No, sir.
Now I don't know why it started right here. Look like we missed something, but that's the beginning of the coverage. But I think this is the guy that picked what's his name? Sheldon. the defendant. I think this is the guy that picked him up when he drove Jay's car somewhere and left it. Well, drove it to a tow yard and left it. And I think this is the guy that picked him up when he was walking, because I remember they said he got stopped by the police.
The person that was in the passenger seat with you that day, do you recognize him in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you don't mind, if you can, for the record, just identify where he's located in the courtroom and what he's wearing.
Tim is to the right of me in a navy blue suit.
All right, so record, so reflect anyway.
All right, after this interaction with the officer, where did you go?
I proceeded to drop him off at home. Well, To be honest, I don't know if this is home or what. I didn't know where he stayed, but he asked me to drop him off at Lafayette Place.
Okay. Did you drive to Lafayette Place?
Yes, sir.
Drop him off?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you observed, any vehicles,
Um,
unique or otherwise, in the parking area near Tim Harrington's apartment?
Yes, sir. Like I said, I don't know where his apartment is, but I dropped him off at Lafayette Place. It's like a little shed thing that you bag your vehicles in. It was to the right of me, and when he got out of the car, he walked up and to the left.
Did you notice any vehicles there?
It was a couple of vehicles there.
Do you remember any of them?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you remember whether? Do you
Hi,
remember
Melissa.
what type of car or other type of vehicle, if you do?
No, sir.
Some indulgence. You've been driving that same route every morning when you got off work?
Yes, sir.
Had you ever seen him jogging there before?
No, sir.
All right. Are you familiar with the people that jog on a regular basis that route as you're leaving work?
Yes, sir. 7 people jogged there.
Was Tim Harrington one of those people?
No, sir.
Was that the first time you'd ever seen him jogging down the road on your way home from work?
Yes, sir.
In the whip, John.
Cross-examination. Luke, can this witness be finally excused? You're free to go, Mr. Carter. Thank you for being here, and you're welcome to stay, but you're free to go.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day. Break. We're gonna take just a real short break to get our, you can go, get our next witness lined up. Remember the court's instructions. Don't discuss the case, form any opinions. Court's gonna take us a real short break. Have a seat, witness chair there, please. You may proceed when you're ready.
Chief Mahan, please introduce yourself to the jury. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
I'm a police officer at the University of Mississippi Police Department. I've been employed there for approximately 21 years. At the time of this report, I was the captain over administrative operations, which oversaw investigations in the crime prevention unit.
And were you, when you say at the time, were you involved in the investigation into the disappearance of Jay Lee?
Yes, during the initial phases, I became involved. I was not involved from like the very first phone call to our
Okay.
department.
But do you, were you the person supervising over the UPD side or University Police Department side of the investigation?
Yes.
Okay. And you said there was multiple in the beginning. So were there other agencies involved?
It became a point in the investigation, like when Jay Lee's car was found, that we reached out to Oxford Police Department because obviously his car was found in another jurisdiction.
Make sure you speak up so that the jury can hear you and try to.
I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure. Okay. You said his car was found in another jurisdiction. Where was the car found ultimately?
I'm not sure specifically if you're talking about that it was parked at Molly Bar Trails at one point, but how we were notified of where the car was located is through the towing company.
Okay. So when you said that OPD, Oxford Police became involved, it was because it was parked in Oxford Police Department's jurisdiction.
Yes.
And was that at Molly Bar Trails Apartments?
Yes, Molly Bar Trails is in Oxford's jurisdiction.
Okay. So starting from there, we're going to go, since that's when you said that's when Oxford Police became involved, I want us to kind of start at the beginning. Since you were supervising and you signed off on many of the officers' reports, I want you to kind of tell us about the investigation. How did UPD learn of Jay Lee's disappearance.
Sorry, it's gonna take me a minute to get through these. So on July 8th, our dispatch office received a call about a missing student, a call from the mother of Jay Lee. So when they took that initial call, our dispatcher tried to call Jay Lee's phone several times. Eventually, a officer was dispatched to his residence, which was located on campus at Campus Walk Apartments. Officers.
About the call, it was like, was it welfare check?
Yes, she had not heard from her son.
Do you have, does officer, or apologizes, do the University Police have a procedure for welfare checks on students?
Yes.
Oh my God, V Renee, thank you, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate that blessing. Blessings, true. Thank you for covering this content. What'd you say? Yeah, for covering this content. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, V Renee. Thank you.
Actually, we have a missing student notification policy to, because we answer to the Clery Act. But our procedures generally involve people call the person. We may call, we may email, we go, we try to locate them, talk to friends, people who
Dr.
they're
Marie, I
not
think I spoke to you. I think I spoke to you. Didn't I,
every
sweetie?
avenue that we can, and we also
Thank you again, V Renee. I
believe they have
appreciate
traveled
that.
to other jurisdictions. We notify those jurisdictions to see like if like there were cameras that captured an attack through that jurisdiction or whatever route we believe they traveled.
So let's sort of walk through some of the stuff that you did in this case. That welfare concern, did it come in on July 8th?
It did, yes.
And about what time did, so they were calling, what time did they go check his apartment to see if he was there?
The report states around 8:30, 8:28 actually PM. The officer went to the area, Campus Walk, to the actual apartment to check to see if they could make contact with Jay Lee.
Okay, and did you all continue to try to contact him pursuant to your procedure throughout that night of July 8th?
Yes, the officers continued to try to check, and then on the morning of July 9th, around 6 a.m., Jay Lee's mother called back to UPD requesting another welfare check because she also had not heard from her son throughout that night.
So he
Lieutenant initiated, had the dispatcher initiate a phone ping to try to determine the location of his phone.
okay. And then after initiating that phone ping, did you all do anything in relation to that?
To the ping?
Yes, like, did you put out be on the lookout? Did you do
Okay,
anything?
so we requested the ping. They also continued to check areas such as the Archive Apartments, Homeless Motel. They continued to check, and then around 1 p.m. on July 9th, I'll be on the lookout. I'm sorry. Okay, I see now. I apologize. Okay, so on July 9th, around 1 p.m., the officers put out a be on the lookout to the local agencies.
What does it be on the lookout?
Basically, it's a notification to the law enforcement officers in that agency. It's like a stop and hold, like if they see this individual, their vehicle come in contact with this person, to please contact our agency because we're trying to ensure the welfare of this person.
Hey, did you all, you said he was living at Campus Walk Apartments, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all ever get to see when he left or find out anything about him coming and going, if he was ever even there?
Yes. So later, by reviewing video, sorry. Okay, so Lieutenant Moore reviewed the housing camera videos at Campus Walk, and it showed Lee had not returned to his apartment since he left on July 8th at 6 a.m.,
So
around 6
I
o'clock.
understand you were kind of overseeing the investigation, directing officers and lieutenants, detectives, different places. Did you also have an opportunity to review the surveillance video?
Yes, later in the investigation, I was able to review the video of him leaving his apartment.
So you did review the surveillance footage? Yes. Okay. And what footage did you review? Like what time frame, what day?
On the 8th specifically, I know he left his, I'm sorry.
Time did you review?
Okay, on by 8th specifically, at 4:01 a.m.
Well, first just tell me like the length of, oh, never mind. I apologize, withdrawn. So you did have an opportunity to review it. Yes.
Yes.
And how did you know it was, how'd you recognize that it was Jay Lee that you were reviewing in the video?
By his appearance, I had seen him before on campus. I knew it was his apartment because we have access to housing records, and that is where.
Make sure you speak up so they can hear you.
Okay, by his apartment, his appearance, and that was the car he was driving that was registered to him.
And the cameras that this came from, who controls those cameras?
The housing department on campus
the
controls,
University of
at the
Mississippi?
University of Mississippi controls the cameras. UPD officers, investigations officers have access to view those cameras.
Okay. And the time accurate on the university cameras?
Yes, it's a time.
And you review that footage before coming into court. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Not any objection to that. I assume it's exactly.
Yes, it's
All right, that's gonna be, S5, is that correct?
right. Well, I'll have her identify
All right, go ahead, get her identified.
it. Approach the witness, right?
You may.
Captain Mahan, I'm handing you a jump drive. Prior to coming and testify today, did you review the video footage on that jump drive?
Yes.
And did that video footage accurately represent the campus walk apartment surveillance of Jay Lee?
Yes.
And had it been altered in any way since when you first saw it?
No.
Not at this time.
Submit it, make up. We watched you do that. I will say I'm glad there wasn't no cameras at Ole Miss when I was here. I probably would be a judge today. If it was.
Captain Mahan, you were just saying you reviewed that. What times are of relevance in this footage? Like the actual time of the of when you see Jay Lee?
Okay, so it's gonna be on the 8th at 4:01 a.m. You'll see him exit the apartment, and then in the parking lot leaving. You'll see him return to the parking lot around 4:39 a.m. At 4:40-ish, you'll see him at the apartment door going back in, and you'll see his final exit around 5:58, 6 o'clock that morning.
So I want us to start with the 4 a.m. When he first entered. But while he's getting that set up, what was Jay Lee's apartment? Do you know the number?
D302.
And we're going to get to it. We're gonna play it, and I'm gonna ask you what we're looking at.
So,
So who was that coming out of the apartment?
that is Jaylee, that's the apartment where the pumpkins are, that's where he lived.
What time was this?
That should be at 4:01 a.m. on the 8th. And it should say it up there, I can't see it. from here.
Your Honor, may the witness step down so that she can. Make sure you sort of project your voice towards the court reporter so that she can hear.
The date and the time is here. This is Jaylee. This is apartment.
Okay, and what was he wearing when he left his apartment at that time?
Okay, so slippers, robe, a bonnet.
Continue to play, please. Thank you. And where does Jay go?
Down the stairs out into the parking lot.
We go to the other camera view. The office did not set up. Well, what are we looking at? What is this video of?
That is the parking lot on the east side of the building.
That's the campus wall. Oh. And who are we walking? Who is that just came out?
Jaylee.
And that is that the one who just left his apartment?
Yes.
Continue to play. What's Jay gonna do?
He's gonna get.
You can tell me what was Jay's car?
It's a black Ford Fusion with a stripe down to it.
What was his tag?
Jaylee 1.
To cap in the hand, does Jay Lee ever return to his apartment?
He does around 4:39 a.m.
If we could go to that committee. Tell me what are we gonna see?
You'll see Jaylee pull in park facing forward.
Is that Jay's car that we're looking at pull up? And who's that exiting the car?
That is Jaylee.
Where's he headed?
Back to his apartment.
If we could go to the other camera angle and show.
All right, Renee.
Yes, Jaylee returning to his apartment.
And does Jay Lee ever leave again?
He does at around 5:58 a.m.
Please go to that next time. Thank you.
And this one you'll see he's like on his phone.
Pause it. Pause it, please. So what was notable about, first of all, who came out of the apartment?
Jaylee came out of his apartment.
And what was notable that you said that we were supposed to look for?
He had his phone. And it's notable because he was the lead as far as he was talking with him when he left his department.
Objection.
She said something about, oh,
No, Your Honor, she was making reference to conversations here, such statements.
She testified as to the investigation and why they did. She was testifying, it wasn't as to.
like I said, I couldn't be exactly what she said, but, not one around.
You get to pull back. Oh, wow. And is that Jamie's car?
Yes.
And can you tell what directions as he came to law? You can retake the stand. Mr. Hand, of course, this was an investigation into Jay's disappearance. So did officers from UPD continue to watch for?
Get that part.
To watch to see if Jay.
You have any more, any more,
Thank you. Did officers continue to watch to see if Jay Lee ever returned?
Yes, one thing I specifically did too is contacted our housing department on campus. So your ID lets you into the apartment complex. I contacted our housing department and asked them to put like an alert on his ID. So if he ever came back to the apartment, an email would be sent to me.
And sort of explain that a little more. How do you get in and out of those apartments?
On that one, card access.
Okay, so you were saying that you asked the university to put like an alert on it,
Yes,
and what would happen if that was used at the apartment, Jay Lee's car?
I would be notified by email of it.
And per your investigation, the UPD investigation, did Jay Lee ever return to that apartment?
No, not that I've ever been notified of. No,
And was there any footage of him returning to that apartment?
no, not that I'm aware of. No.
So
we got on the screen, we got ESPN playing, and not that I complain, but it might be distracting somebody. If I get a good game going after a while, I may zone out on y'all.
So I want you to tell me about some of the areas throughout the investigation that UPD searched for Jay. Where did you all search?
We searched, checked the archives, Ole Miss Motel.
What is archives?
It's an apartment complex.
Okay.
And it's an apartment complex that Jay Lee was anticipating moving to.
Okay. And just Captain Mahan, so you know, our jury, they may not be familiar with Oxford, so as much detail you can provide is wonderful. Tell me, did y'all check anywhere else?
Yes, I'm trying to find it. Obviously, we continue to check on campus, parking lots, all areas on campus.
Y'all check any hospitals?
Yes, we checked hospitals, the two main towing companies at the time in Oxford that we were aware of. Checked the jails. Checked Lexington Point, which is an apartment complex. Quality Inn Motel. Heritage Drive Road were some of the other areas that were checked.
And was Jay Lee located, or any footage of him or any sign of him located in these areas?
No.
And kind of explain for the jury why do y'all check hospitals?
Because if they're injured, or incapacitated in some manner, anything could happen to somebody. They could not have their cell phone on them, or they could not be healthy enough to make a phone call or return a phone call.
Was there any sign that he had been checked into any of the hospitals?
No, none that.
And why do y'all check jails and detention centers?
Just obviously in case somebody is locked up, they won't have access to their cell phone and they may not be able to had a chance to notify their family members.
And was there any sign that he had booked into any jails or detention centers?
No, not that we were aware of. No.
As a part of the investigation, did you all speak to Jay's family?
Yes.
Okay. What information did you learn that pushed the investigation forward? What were you working with when you spoke with Jay's family?
Specifically on the 10th, Lieutenant Carradine and I went and spoke with Jay Lee's parents at a hotel here in Oxford. And the mom, Miss Lee, told us like he had an internship with Child Protective Services. He would never leave his dog Lexi alone. That wasn't his character. He thought the world of his dog. He actually had a sticker on his car about dogs. And on the 8th, it was his mom's birthday.
So that was the day was a significant day.
Yes.
Did you learn of any contacts that he actually contacted his mom?
He had contacted his mom by texting her saying it's your birthday. And when she woke up, she realized she had the text from him. She could not get back in touch with him, and she had not heard from him throughout the day. We also learned that from the mom, that Jose was one of his best friends, that he was not on, that Jay Lee was not on any medications or suffering from any mental illness that we knew of. And she actually let us view on her phone that his phone's location was still not being able to be seen.
And why is it important to gather information like that when someone is missing?
To try to determine their whereabouts and to determine as much as you can in the process to be able to find them.
And so was this all part of just your investigation into how we discover where Jay might be?
Yes.
So I saw the apartment. Jay comes in and out. Were you ever able to determine in the investigation if anybody else lived there?
Yes, we were able to determine there were roommates. I think their name is Marcus and Jamie. And they had moved out in May.
May of when?
2022.
Okay. And so at the time, well, actually kind of describe the layout of the apartment.
Okay, so obviously you saw the door. So when you enter the apartment, to the immediate left, there's a laundry room. Then there's the kitchen. And then it kind of goes around from a common area.
The student housing, how is it set up? Is it like they're all sharing one room and multiple beds, or?
It's like 4 rooms in a common area and a kitchen.
And everybody has their own bathrooms?
Yes.
Okay. And so who was the only one staying there at the time?
Jay Lee.
Okay. Now I would take it, I think we've kind of gone over some things you were doing. What time frame are we talking right now? July 8th to like 10th? Is that accurate?
I'm sorry, I don't know that specifically. So yeah, so on July 10th, we actually conducted a search warrant of his apartment.
Okay. And was the dog there at that time?
The dog.
You mentioned that his dog was there. So
Yeah, the dog was there and later released to the parents. To the parents.
So the dog was given to his parents?
Yes.
Okay. And so you actually conducted a search warrant of Jay's apartment on July 10th?
Yes.
Okay. And were you there for when that search warrant was conducted?
I was actively involved in that search warrant. I took pictures during the search.
Okay. And would you recognize those photos if you were to see them again?
Yes.
Notwithstanding my previous objection, that's positive for allowed.
Since you got the deposit, I think be the best anyway. Go ahead and let her identify them and then mark them, okay?
Can I approach the witness?
No, she does not have to identify one of them. I'm okay with her. Okay.
Captain Mahan, before you came to testify, we went through these photos, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and they do they accurately represent the photos that you took of Jay Lee's apartment during the search warrant?
yes,
Okay. And have they been altered in any way?
No.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move to enter into evidence the photos of the July 10th search of Jay Lee's apartment, taken by Captain Mahan.
If there's no objection, will be introduced, I think that'd be S6 as a composite exhibit. And what was the date of that search? December what?
July 10th.
Still have no
I understand, it's noted for the record. You may. Anybody? Let me know, okay?
Captain Mahan, could you tell us what we are looking at?
Can't see.
Y'all see?
There's not anything over there.
I must know.
Nothing's in front of me.
I will say this thing here, if it's also around, on this, button. We published things to Jerry over. I had, are you gonna be cutting Jerry back? Anything?
Just like now. Which means you like now. That poured out from the mouth.
I can see. No, you may not- I mean, that's not what I said now, right?
I can't see.
Keep that guy around, he knows what he's doing.
James is still not up.
Now, he's not up, huh? No. What about now?
It's like,
It'll come up in a
it's,
second.
oh,
There it is.
okay.
Everybody good? All right, we got contact. Here we go.
Has it fit?
I think everybody's. You go black? There we go.
Okay. Now, how do I make those arrows disappear? Can y'all see those arrows?
I think everybody sees.
Somebody's doing
There
something.
we go. Okay. Captain Mahan, what are we looking at?
The outside,
And make sure to speak up.
the outside of, this thing ain't working. Campus Walk, Building B.
Okay? And just describe for me what we're looking at. What about this?
Stairway leading up.
And these photos, tell me, when you're taking photos as a part of an investigation, do you have a particular process for how you do it?
I am going to, and I take photos on my way to that path, to the location that I need to search.
So we kind of be following your path.
Yes,
Okay, and where do these stairs lead?
up to the second floor.
And whose apartment is on the second floor?
Jay Lee's is on 304, so it would be on the third floor.
Oh, okay. So what about this?
That's the stairwell between the second and third, and that's the third at the top. There's the pumpkins and his wreath outside his door.
And what are we looking at here?
That's his apartment door. Just another view of his apartment door,
What number was his apartment?
D302. And I say D because inside the apartments, the bedrooms are labeled like A, B, C, D.
And with this photo, is there anything significant in this photo?
No, nothing significant.
What is that?
Oh, sorry. There's cameras in the breezeway, as you would call it, of the apartment complexes.
Are those the cameras that would have captured Jay coming and going?
Yes.
Now, what is this?
Okay, so that's right inside the door. It looks like I would have been standing near, when you enter into the apartment, the laundry room's immediately to your left. In this picture, you can see the kitchen to your left. So I'm either standing adjacent to the laundry room or a little bit more into the apartment from the doorway.
Okay, and the laundry room is to your left. And
Yes.
is this that laundry room?
Yes.
And were you able to take photographs of just, why do you take photographs of all this?
To document how the environment at the time and things of evidentiary value or things that even aren't of evidentiary value, to just document the state of being of the apartment at the time.
The apartment appear lived in?
Yes.
I'm going to show you, we're going to go back out to when you were here. Oh, no, I apologize. Back out to when you were here. What is this a photo of?
Hey, Mercy and Grace. Good to see you.
And who was that package for?
It says Jay Lee.
Room, what's located there?
The kitchen is on the left. There's a bedroom on the right, and then another bedroom on the right. And then it's like the common area and other bedrooms.
And would this be the kitchen you were referring to?
Yes.
And were there dirty dishes in the sink?
Yes, you can see dishes. There's like some food left out, kind of.
Just more angle in the kitchen?
Yes.
And what view is this?
That I would be standing in the common area or like the living room, facing on the other side of the Christmas tree is the door at the end of that hallway, the main entrance door. And then you can see the kitchen, and the door right behind the Christmas tree was Jay Lee's bedroom.
Look at this right here. What is this?
In the picture prior, I was facing the kitchen. So I just turned to the right and took pictures like in a circle, more or less.
So I'll just sort of show, these are just the living room and the common area?
Common area, living room.
And what is this?
The door to Jay Lee's apartment. I
That's-
think, wait, no, it's not. That's another door of one of the apartments.
Did you actually enter the other dorms or the
No,
other?
our search warrant was specifically, it was my understanding our search warrant was specifically for his room in the common areas,
All right.
not other people's space.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
That is Jay Lee's room. And I think previously I said D, but this shows D, so it has to be B.
And these are the photographs that you took?
Yes.
Right, okay. So what are we looking at here?
That's the entryway into Jay Lee's room. At the door, there's a closet to the left, kind of around that corner. His bed, straight ahead, obviously, is the window. The couch or love seat, the little table, and to the right of that, if you go in past his dresser and things, to the right is the bathroom.
Now, I want to look at some close-ups of what was on the door. Was it easy to identify which room was Jay's when you came in?
Yes, I mean, his name's obviously on this one, and there were pictures of Jay.
And I think this would be the opposite side of that door, is that correct?
Yes, because the light switch is there, yes.
So I'm going to show you some photographs you took around the room. So when you walk in, what direction would you look for this? Photograph?
To the left. Yes,
And close-ups of that table as well, that little desk right there.
I think so. Obviously, I did, yes.
And what are you looking at on this desk?
Makeup, laptop,
Was that laptop collected from his room?
yes.
And what about here?
The laptop,
And some other items were found in the room. What are we looking at here that was found in the room?
looks like a card from Jose.
And here, that was found in the room.
It's an envelope with the name Jay on it
What about?
and a gift card.
And were those items collected as well?
Yes,
What about this?
that is I think it's the title to his vehicle. Yes, a 2014 Ford Fusion.
Mary, may I approach the witness? No. Handing the witness a part of composite exhibit S6. That you can see it better. What is that?
Is a title for his vehicle.
Okay. And keep looking around the room. I think you're going to the left. We're gonna see what is this?
His bed area, pictures on the wall.
And when you went around this room, did it appear that someone was leaving, packing up to go?
No,
What is this?
his bedding, shoes, slippers, his dog bowl,
What about that?
it's his dog's bowl, feeding bowl.
And earlier you were talking about there being a little couch. Is that like the couch and coffee table that's in there?
That's the coffee table, and I think the couch is on the other side. You can see it in this one, and the bathroom to the right.
And where is this?
Up underneath his bed. His bed was raised.
And what about this?
It's the coffee table.
And you said the bathroom is where?
You can see it in this picture. It's kind of to the right. You can see the doorway.
Right there.
Yes,
Okay. And you took pictures in there as well, correct?
I think so.
That be bathroom?
Yes,
And what are we looking at here?
it's still in the bathroom. You can see the commode. It's just the storage over the commode area. Personal hygiene items.
And do you do the same process?
View of what's there.
So would these be the next ones that I'm showing as a part of composite S6, just that circle you make in the bathroom?
Yes, from the pictures you're going, I would have stepped in the bathroom and started from the left and circled around and took pictures.
And were there still a lot of personal care items around?
Yes,
So just hairbrushes, straightening irons, things of that nature?
yes, everything.
And what about this?
Yeah, that's back.
Okay.
Cleaning supplies in the tub and personal hygiene items.
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
I'm sorry, cleaning items, the tub, personal hygiene items.
And what about this?
That's the closet down here on the doors.
I forgot to show this picture from outside the room, so tell me what we're looking at here. What's on the wall?
Pictures, I think one of them was a family photograph, if I remember correctly. And his graduation regalia.
I think I want to make sure you took pictures of the entire room and then, oh, forgot this one. This is just, what are we looking at here?
Refrigerator.
Is that Adrian?
Yes, because it's the door, immediately after you walk through the door to the right.
And what is this?
His closet, the closet in the room.
Did it appear that there was anything packed up?
No,
And actually, that's the bottom of the closet, the top of the closet, what are we looking at here?
Personal items, clothing. Looks like I can't even think of it, like a luggage.
And one more thing, what is that a picture of?
Personal hygiene items, cologne, perfume, deodorants, body spray, lotion.
What about this view?
I would have been standing in the room and that would have been back out.
Speak up,
Sorry, I would have been standing in the room and that's back toward his door and entryway.
And what's that behind the door?
It's like a backpack or backpack.
Okay, Captain Mahan. Earlier, when you were testifying, you said that y'all put out a bolo to, who did y'all put the vehicle look out? Who did you put that out to again?
We put it out.
Do you remember when you changed it to a nationwide bolo?
I do not, I can find it. I've got it in here. Something I failed to mention while I'm looking for that too, was that on the 10th, we also when we were looking for the vehicle, we also called Homeland Security to enter the tag number into their state system so they could, so we all could be notified if the vehicle was traveling on the highways that have cameras.
Explain to me what that is. When you give the vehicle tag to Homeland Security, what happens? What do they do?
You're supposed to be able to put it into a system like that when you cross some state lines and stuff, there's tag readers and it captures tag information. So we would have been notified if this vehicle was out traveling.
So on July 10th, you all were, y'all still hadn't located his vehicle. Is that correct?
On dates. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the exact date that we were notified that his vehicle was at Bandit Towing. Okay, so on July 10th, around 9 p.m., the vehicle was reported to us. We got a phone call about the vehicle. A tow truck driver said it was at Bandit Towing.
Okay, so kind of walk me through that. How, I know you all had put the bolo out to the local law enforcement agencies, but how did the tow truck driver know that you all were looking for Jay Lee?
Okay, because in the initial part of the investigation prior to the vehicle being found, we were looking for the vehicle and continuing to look for Jay Lee. We, the university put out a press release with the vehicle information. And when the tow truck driver saw the press release, he called our dispatch center, who then called me. Here's the, we put it out over social media. We called Oxford Police Department, asked them to put it out, the county, asked them to put it out on their social media pages. I think it eventually ended up on the news. Our public relations department on campus would have coordinated that.
Is it safe to say this was everywhere, this press release?
Yes.
Okay. And so,
And I
apologize.
I'm sorry. I've got a note here, the Bolo Nationwide. I'm just trying to find it in the report where it speaks of it.
So while you're looking for that, Captain Mahan, You stated just now that you all got notification by 9 p.m. on the 10th that Jaylee's car was at Bandit Towing. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. Upon finding out that Jaylee's car was at Bandit Towing, did you all do anything from there?
Yes, I sent the investigators to confirm that it was actual vehicle we were looking for.
And were you, so basically a person called in a tip and said, I think I have the car, and y'all went out to confirm? Did
Yes.
you confirm that it was his car?
Yes.
Okay. And did you get information as part of your investigation from Bandit Towing about when he told that the car was towed and where it was towed from?
Yes. The vehicle was towed. He told us he first saw Jaylee's vehicle on Friday, July 8th, 2022, around 1:45 in the rear, what he called the rear Molly Bar trails.
So it was towed from Molly Bar Trails.
Yes.
Okay. And did he take photographs as a part of towing, the procedure for towing?
Yes, he said he did. I think those were provided to Oxford Police Department.
And could you actually go back earlier in the investigation, before you got to the vehicle being found at Molly Bar Trails? Did you speak with anyone else, or did your investigators speak with anyone else as a part of the investigation? As a part of your investigation earlier, before you found out that the car had been towed by Bandit Towing on the 10th, was anyone else spoken to in regards to the disappearance of Jaylee?
Before the car was towed, or before we learned, Jose.
So y'all spoke with Jose, and I believe you stated that Jose was his best friend,
Best friend,
his brother, right?
Yes.
And did you all, earlier when you were talking about the video on the phone, you said y'all spoke with Khalid. Did y'all speak with Khalid?
Yes.
Okay.
Khalid, or Khalid is what I call him.
So as a part of the investigation, what did you learn from Khalid? And when did you speak with him? When was he spoken to?
Okay. Okay, so on the 10th, July 10th, around 7:55 p.m., Lieutenant Carradine and I called Khalid from her office and spoke with him. During that time, Khalid told us that he was FaceTiming on Snap with Jaylee. At the time, he was walking out of his apartment that morning.
And that, when you say that morning, what morning are you referring to?
July 8th, yes, on July 8th. Yes, so he said,
Before you get into that, we were watching the video, we saw him leave twice. Which time was Khalid talking to him?
the second time
Okay,
that he never came back.
now tell us, how did Khalid further the investigation?
Let Gary go in, Gary, we got taken care of, okay? Any questions? Don't want to correct anything, don't walk on the case, don't investigate. We'll take just a minute break and see.
I hate when they do this. Let me see if I can fast forward it, y'all.
Portion of the statement that they had a fight earlier or something to that effect. But I did open in this.
Oh, wait a minute, who was fighting? Hold on, how y'all time?
Again, through
Let me see.
another witness, which I statement about the fire. Mr. Oran saying that was coming down the pipes. Was beginning to object. This witness, I think the statement about the attempt to elicit testimony, Mr. Fears was testifying. The court, the statement proffered by he was on the phone with Jay Lee early in the morning. His plan was to go see somebody, some unnamed person for activities, and that they'd had a fight earlier, I believe was basic of it. At that time, the court ruled that as an exception, which is that statement would be hearsay, that as an exception to the hearsay rule, that Mr. Fears could testify about what Mr. Jay Lee's plans were as an exception to the hearsay rule. And through that witness, Mr. Fears excluded the testimony of concerning the portion of the statement that they had a fight earlier or something to that effect. But I did open in this state asked that they would attempt again through another witness, which I assume this witness, to introduce that portion of the statement about the fight earlier. Mr. Oran saying that was coming down out for determination, which I assume is the admissibility or non-admissibility of that statement concerning the fight earlier. Would that be a good summary of where we're at?
I think so. Yes.
Argument, yeah, argument. Okay, one man's argument, another man's fight. All right. The gist of it. There's been difficulties anyway. It's your you have filed you have noted your objection. I'll hear from you first. I'll give you an opportunity to state your objection.
Reiterate the same objection that I had earlier. Objection that hearsay doesn't fall under the present sense impression as
I have previously determined it is hearsay, and whether or not and I previously determined that that particular portion of the statement did not fall under the motive plan exception to the hearsay rule. I'll state indicated they with this witness try to attempt to say there's another exception to the hearsay rule is the way I get it. So I understand your objection. The court is finding it is hearsay. We can come back and argue whether there's an exception to the hearsay rule or not. I'll give the state the opportunity to voice their opinion. If there's an exception, and then give you an opportunity to respond as why it's not an exception. All right, I'll hear from you on why that particular statement the court feels there's an exception to the hearsay rule. Or I'll give you a chance to bite as to whether it's not hearsay or not, but go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's argument is that the statement from that she heard is not hearsay. Remember, Mr. Fears was talking about 2 interviews. Do you remember he was talking about 2 interviews? The recorded one and the non-recorded one. The non-recorded one is the one that we're referring to here. In the non-recorded statement, this is the early stages of the investigation, and they're gathering information to see what they might need to do, how they might need to do it. This is what leads to them. We have UPD Officer Ben Douglas getting to get search warrants for a bunch of Jay Lee's accounts because Mr. Fears tells them that Jay Lee said he was, it's close. Mr. Fears tells them that Jay Lee said he was going to meet with someone who he had previously blocked and he had met with earlier. And that's why that he was on the phone. So they were getting search warrants to see where he's going, if they can find that person. That is how the investigation moves forward. And I do have a case in regards to this, Your Honor, which is that statements made to police in the course of the investigation that further the investigation are not hearsay. The site I would cite you is Butler v. State, 75.
I'm familiar with Butler. It's a good one anyway. Go ahead.
758 Southern 2nd, 1063. The victim testified regarding what happened, specifics about what happened, or didn't testify, I apologize. The officer testified what the victim said about what happened in the crime. The officer was testifying to that. Here, we're talking about what they used to further their investigation. Further.
Let me interrupt you just 1 second. If you would pull up Butler for me, I'll refresh my memory while we're going, okay?
Further, Your Honor, the statement, we're not offering it for the truth of the matter. We're not offering it to say that that we're not actually can't really even say anything about the defendant with that statement, because it's just saying that Jay Lee was going to meet somebody. It doesn't even refer to the defendant at all. It's not even a confrontation issue if you think about it in that way. But what I would say, Your Honor, is that statements made to officers in the course of their investigation are not hearsay, and that's what she's going to testify to as they move forward with the investigation. And in the Butler case, they go through that. There was one point that's slipping my head right now, Your Honor. I believe that's it.
I'll give you a chance to get your thoughts. If you need them, come back.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. How about before the defense makes their statement? I want to reread Butler, okay? It's been a minute. All right. I'll bear with you. All right. Anything else from the state?
I would just offer, Your Honor, that just like in Butler, we are not offering the statement to show that Jay Lee was leaving to go meet somebody he blocked. We are offering it to show that Khaled offered this information to the police because he thought it might be helpful and why they used it, which was then they start issuing search warrants. Ben Douglas issued search warrants, the direction of Captain Mahan. Ben Douglas will be coming in to testify, but then they start issuing search warrants for Jay Lee's accounts, his phones, and to figure out they can get more information.
Right.
I think it says iCloud is Apple ID. So figure out.
Your Honor, I
case is a statement made by the victim. You don't have that in this particular case. And you also have hearsay within hearsay issue here. Butler was a statement where the victim made representations that the officer used. In this case, they're asking the court to allow hearsay conversations that they had an argument, summation of it, and then the hearsay statement from Fears to the officer. What she just told the court, the purpose of it was they were going to do that notwithstanding the fact if the officer provided that to other detectives that he was going over there to hook up with somebody he'd been with earlier that night. They find out about that. The fact that it had an argument wasn't going to, information about the argument wasn't going to stop them from doing any searching. Serves no purpose whatsoever to add this hearsay within hearsay, Your Honor. It's basically what it was. Butler's not on point, Your Honor. It adds absolutely zero value to the actions that the officers took by allowing this particular summation of the statement between the two individuals, and the victim is not the individual that made the statement to the officers and they acted on it, as was the case in Butler.
My argument that is that it's not hearsay altogether, because it's how they further their investigation. Not that it's not.
This is a tough one. Court cognizant of the point of they would have got to the same place with or without the extra incentive of we had an argument.
Your Honor, I just said she was going to say that Khalid said that they were going to see someone he previously blocked, and he was going to see them. And
Hang on a second. Does Butler hold it's not hearsay, or is it admissible hearsay?
not hearsay.
Statement from the victim.
I don't think that's makes a difference who it's from.
It does, to the extent when you're asking the declarant his fears, and he is characterizing a conversation that the victim gave him with another person. That is not, Butler is not on point with that.
Part of the reason Butler is on point is just like here, in Butler, nobody was identified. They said it didn't even implicate Butler. Butler is not even implicated. Here, Khaled isn't saying Timothy, he went to meet Timothy Harrington. He's not saying that. That's not what he's saying. He's saying what the victim recounted to him. It's not being offered to say that Jay went to meet. It's being offered to say, oh, this is how we proceeded and why we proceeded that way.
They were going to do that regardless of the hearsay, double hearsay statement.
Butler says, Mississippi Supreme Court had held that admitting out-of-court statements made to police during the course of their investigation is permissible, and so hold the court stated that it is elemental that a police officer may show that he has received a complaint, what he did about the complaint, without going into details of it. In Swindle, a police officer testified about a tip received from an informant. The court held that a police officer's testimony about a tip received from an informant is admissible to the extent required to show why an officer acted as he did and was at a particular place at a particular time. Court's going to find that part about to the extent required to show why an officer acted as he did and was at a particular place at a particular time. In this case, court's going to admit it. And I'll let you make any further objection. I understand it's important issue. I'll let you make any other further record that you like anyway.
I have a problem with the scenario where the tip is made that we acted on a tip. No problem with that.
Hang on just a second. I don't see any distinction between a tip and a statement from an identified person. All right.
I withdraw my objection.
Do what?
I withdraw my objection
All right.
in front of the jury.
Okay. Show the jury in.
Where was I?
All right, everybody good on the jury? Hang in there, we're getting close to lunchtime. Oh. Before we get started back, how much longer do you think you got with this witness?
Not much longer, Your Honor. I don't believe much
We're
longer.
gonna try to finish direct examination and then take up cross before after lunch. All right, go ahead. All right, thank you, sir. You may proceed.
Yes, Captain Mahan, I believe we were talking about, you all met with Khalid on the 10th of July, 2022. What did you learn in that conversation with Khalid that helped further the investigation?
Yes, we called Khalid on July 10th. Khalid had actually called our dispatch and informed our dispatch that he was with Jay Lee when he was leaving his apartment. He said he was FaceTiming with Jay Lee on Snapchat when he was walking out of his apartment. He told it was around the 8. Jay Lee told him that approximately 2 hours before he had a hook, and he had ended up blocking this person on social media because Khalid told us that Jay Lee had told him that he and the person.
Don't approach anyway.
Just tell us what you learned from Khalid about where Jay Lee was going on July 8th when he was FaceTiming him.
He was going back to meet an individual he had previously had a hookup with
Okay.
in
And
an argument.
said Khalid provided this information on the 10th, correct?
Yes,
And this was because the social media post had gone out?
yes.
Okay, and how did this information further your investigation?
It allowed us to know, obviously, he was going to meet an individual and he has not returned. So we knew he was on Snapchat, FaceTime, so then we would start applying for search warrants for his social media, phone records, things of that nature.
And what officer was directed to at UPD was directed to do that?
It was Sergeant Ben Douglas.
Okay, just to make sure that we covered everything as an overview, since we took that break, talked to Khalid on July 10th, correct?
Yes,
On July 10th, you also learned that Jay Lee's car had been towed by Bandit Towing. Is that correct? And where was Jay Lee's car towed from?
Molly Bartrails Apartments.
Oh, that's an apartment complex.
Mhm.
Okay. And where is Molly Bartrails Apartments located?
I think this street is called McElroy Drive. I know how to get there. It's in close proximity to where Oxford Police Department is on McElroy Drive, north of there, north of a gas station at Molly Bartrails.
Okay, you said north of the gas station. What gas station is that?
I call it Rockets.
Rockets gas station. About how far is Rockets gas station from Molly Bartrails apartment?
Probably about 3/10 of a mile.
And did you ever learn when? I know y'all learned about it having been towed on Bandit on the 10th, but did you learn when Bandit towed the car?
Yes. Sorry. I know I went through it earlier. You asked when the car was towed, right?
Yes,
At 1:50 on the 8th.
on July 8th,
Yes.
from Molly Bartrails apartment.
Yes.
Brief indulgence. So just as a final question, as you testified, you checked with hospitals, you checked with jails, you checked his apartment, you checked all these areas in Oxford. Did you ever Did you all ever locate Jay Lee?
No.
Did he ever return to campus?
No.
And Molly Bartrell's apartments, is that in y'all's in UPD's jurisdiction?
No, it's in Oxford Police Department's jurisdiction.
So upon finding out that the car was there, who did y'all contact?
Chief McCutcheon.
And who is Chief McCutcheon?
He is the chief of police at Oxford Police Department.
Okay, and why did you do that?
Because the car was located in his jurisdiction. And at that point, we needed something bigger. And so jurisdictional wise, they would be responsible for continuing the investigation.
So that point is when they became a part of the investigation?
And it worked kind of like a unified command jurisdiction wise, and we continued to assist in the investigation with certain things. Sergeant Douglas specifically, because Sergeant Douglas specifically was very actively involved in the investigation, writing search warrants.
So at that time, would it be fair to say that Oxford Police Department sort of started to lead, but you all continued to assist?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
All right, Captain, we're gonna, all right, here we go. Is that food here yet? They close, we're not anyway, right? We're gonna take a lunch break now. Remember to instructions, opinions, as long as that's you back there. I think if they don't have food there, they'll be there just momentarily anyway. And so, we're gonna be in recess until 1 o'clock, okay? Captain, you'll don't discuss your testimony with anyone until you get back to the thing, okay? You're free to go. Just don't discuss your testimony. Yes, man.
Let's see if we can move. So I can't stand the silence. Let's see. Yeah, they're taking a break. Let's see. Is it lunch? It's lunch. Okay. Y'all, we getting caught up today. Put any questions in the chat, y'all. Thank y'all for the ones that's still here. I appreciate it. I do. Okay. Is that it for today? Or they ain't came back from lunch yet? Oh, wow. We done got that caught up. Hold on. All right. He's talking. Let's see. Hi, Barry. That's okay. Have a good day at work.
Yeah, everybody with DA's offices apparently. Wait, no, y'all go back.
Oh, no,
Yeah. Most of y'all working. I appreciate y'all still being here. I appreciate that.
Let's see if I do any good. I wonder if I do any good if the judge calls.
Okay, fun, because we on the road, girl. We getting caught up. We gonna be caught up today.
Go down that road back there and if they there, bring them. At the office, every night, they go back to back. Come on in, Lindsay. I think you can handle things for state. Just have us right there. All right. All right. Looks like we're all back here. We've got 15 people from Florida County up here against their will. Let's show them respect to start when we say we're going to start. And if anybody needs to use judges' chambers during lunch to facilitate their being here on time, we'll find a place in the courtroom for anybody that needs it for meetings during the lunch hour anyway. All right, everybody ready? Where's Lynn? If you would bring shoulder here. had to short delay, you started back, 4:31, had to do lunch. You didn't get enough, you'll find some more, okay? I trust over there, let me know if you ever do. All right, you, I believe the point that you were about to cross-examine the witness, you remain on the same oath. Okay.
I can see John. Approach the witness. Captain Mahan, I'm gonna hand you what's been marked as Exhibit 7. And it provided to me in discovery representing the
Objection, Your Honor. So you need to tell the witness what it is, she should identify herself.
I'll let her.
Rephrase it, sir.
Can you identify that item?
Yes, it's a return to the search warrant we executed on July 10th, 2022.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got some account information on there. If I give you a PIN, bank account information, would you black out that information so if we introduce it into evidence or it's published, that it would be published to anyone other than
That sounds good.
If you
I see
would,
it now.
You see it now?
Yes.
Please do that. May end up burning a copy of it so it doesn't bleed through. But I'm not a publisher, Your Honor. In case it gets into the court, when it gets into the court file.
Just the bank account, there's a discovery.
Yeah, I would
Credit
just
card.
better safe than sorry. Think you got it all?
I think so. I barely can.
That appears
Hard to
to
read.
be, other than the alterations that you, it appears to talk about, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna bring it up to you just now. Captain, so we have some clarity as to kind of how this went down. Y'all did a wellness check or wellness investigation. Y'all do those pretty regular, I assume, right?
Yes, sir. It's a college campus and it's not uncommon for us to,
And ultimately, according to your direct examination, it was ultimately turned over to Oxford PD, but y'all still worked with them in the investigation, correct?
yes, it was kind of like a unified command structure. I mean, both chiefs were present for a while and then,
Right, and my understanding is that as a joint investigation, as far as the lead investigation between the two agencies, somewhere around 11th to 12th, is that a fair statement?
we had the initial conversation. I know the night the vehicle was located at the towing.
On which day?
That was,
What day was that?
I'm sorry. There's a lot of paperwork and I would rather be accurate. Okay, on the 10th, the vehicle, we were notified that the vehicle was at.
And it was located,
Okay, I'm sorry.
so on the 10th, Jay Lee's vehicle was located at Bandit, correct?
Bandit, yes.
And you testified previously about conversations that you had with him. And his representations to you were that he basically is under contract to make sure people aren't illegally parked out there at that location. And I guess he has other contracts in Oxford to make sure people aren't taking up limited parking in those areas. Is that fair to say? That's your understanding when you talked to him?
My understanding was, yes, they make rounds apparently in the apartment complexes, and if there's illegally or vehicles in that apartment complex that do not belong there, they tow them.
Right. And you testified that about 1:15, y'all came, located that vehicle on that particular day at his service there?
No, he told us it was towed at 1:50 p.m.
I'm sorry. When did y'all actually get a search warrant for Jay Lee's car? I'm past the part. The material that I've been provided is that y'all had 2 search warrants for his car. Is that a fair statement?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Trying to get through the paperwork.
Material I've been provided is testifying for the witness.
That's I'm going, give him some of that.
Do you know when the first search warrant was obtained for Jay Lee's car that was located at Bandit?
Not, I don't.
All right. What about the second search warrant for his car? Captain, it's my understanding that the search warrant that was done and the return pertaining to the Campus Walk apartment was done by UPD Detective Ben Douglas, correct? And you're familiar with it. You were
I was
familiar.
actively engaged in that search warrant.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Were you at the search warrant location when they did it on the car, Jay Lee, when they?
No, I was
did the
not.
car? I want to ask you about, as to the car, I actually have 3 search warrants on the car, one pertaining to the finding of a black face mask inside Jay Lee's car. Were you present on that particular search?
No, I was not present for the search of the vehicle.
Are you familiar with whether or not UPD actually did those searches? You testified on direct that the car was down there and searches were done.
Sergeant Ben Douglas conducted the majority of the search warrants in this case. I did not see in front of me each search warrant that was conducted.
That's what I guess I'm trying to get to. You're not familiar with, and Ben Douglas would be the individual.
Yes, you would have to hear from him.
Okay. All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of your direct examination And part of your investigation in this case, would it be a fair statement, Captain, that you assisted Officer Caradine when Jose Reyes was in?
I was not present for Jose's interview.
Okay. At all, at any time?
Not for Jose. I mean, I could have been at the police department. I think her and Sergeant Douglas were the first two to actually speak with Jose. I've got it.
Okay, you familiar, did you approve the report pertaining to the interview of Jose Reyes?
On the,
It's page 52 of 133 of the 133-page report that was.
really amounts out of order. I'm sorry, mine's not in the same order from like the pages went to whatever. Mine's in a different order.
I just, the way it was provided to me, bottom right-hand corner, it has page.
Right, I'm talking about it, but here in front of me, it's not in order,
Oh, I'm
1 to
sorry.
100.
Take your time. I get it too.
Okay, yeah, because my page is not. Are you talking about the one from July 11th?
Now, Pro Tem. DA. I'm going to show you what appears to be bottom of the right-hand page, the number, by the number, whether or not there appears to be your approval of the report on that particular day. Detective Officer Carey. I understand there's markings on it, but the content, does that appear to be the report?
Yes, sir.
All right. All 3 pages.
That one's not.
That appears to be.
Yeah, I was just, that was about Jose's interview, right?
In the middle of that page, could you tell what statement is made in there, in that report as to what Jose Reyes said pertaining to his relationship with Jimmy Lee?
Objection, Your Honor.
I don't know what the court says, I really don't know what we're arguing about. If I did, I wouldn't have you step. Jury step, tell me what you're arguing about, okay?
Well, yes, Your Honor, the report that they showed me was.
And if we need to get you a good copy, I'll read it to you.
The report, it says that the Officer Carradine interviewed Jose. He said that he and Jay Lee didn't hang out that much. I said, I believe they're trying to introduce this to impeach Jose. However, when Jose testified, he did clear up and say that after the school year, when Jay was busy with his internship, they didn't hang out as much. So there is no reason to introduce this to impeachment. But then when we were at the bench, opposing counsel stated that this wasn't to impeach Jose and that he just made misleading statements. But that's not, then what's the purpose? Then it's just hearsay for no reason.
Two things, Your Honor. First of all, it does have some impeachment value based on Jose's testimony.
Let me ask you this, who should you impeach Jose with instead of this witness anyway?
Your Honor, I asked Jose whether or not the relationship he had with Jimmy Lee, whether or not they were good friends or not. He said, yes, we were good friends. We've been good friends, best friends, what was testimony. That purpose, I don't necessarily have to ask him anything about the statement to this particular officer, primarily because it's a public report. I don't have to impeach you with that statement. The Confrontation Clause does not require that I do that. The Rule 8036 does not require that I do that under this particular circumstance. It's in furtherance of her investigation, what she did, just like the information that was provided previously on the statement that she acted on, she interviewed, that we discussed before the jury went in, and I had my objections that I would do. Same purpose. The impeachment aspect of it is secondary to whether or not she can testify what she did in furtherance of investigation and the content of the interviews of the individuals that she did, that she interviewed.
But Your Honor, what is it in furtherance of? The previous time, we testified that if we was in furtherance of why they then pursued search warrants for Jay's Apple account, Snapchats, things of that nature. What is this in furtherance of? If it's being offered not to impeach Jose, which is the real reason, and not the subterfuge, if it's being offered just to see the furtherance of the investigation, he should state, what did this further in the investigation?
Your Honor, this is kind of how the question goes. He'll give you the statement. He's previously testified inconsistent with that, has some marginal impeachment value. They interviewed, after Jose made those statements to them that I don't hang around in that much. They furthered their investigation and rounded back around, interviewed his information, acted on it, tried to clear it up, and then came back to him and interviewed him again.
I'm gonna let you ask the question. If a Butler statement is good for the goose, is good for the gander.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We ready?
Yes, let's bring the jury back in. Hang on one second.
Hold on a second.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you ask this question, but I don't know if this. I don't know enough to know if this is the right witness to run further rabbits with. If you know what I'm talking about.
Your Honor, and
I'm gonna let you start, and then if it.
I would agree, but for the fact on direct examination, they identified her, it's over the investigation, proving everything, reviewing reports. They laid that, Your Honor. I didn't.
You're probably right, but it's gonna be. I'm not consenting to
everything.
I'm not consenting to everything. I'm consenting to you asking this question.
Yes.
I just want to be clear, Your Honor, that we are doing this for the captain because we don't want to have to call 30 other officers, which opposing counsel aware of.
He can call them if he wants to anyway. Go ahead. Bring the jury on this.
My brother's witness, Your Honor. I think that it's to a reference, please.
you're identifying the highlighted part, and I will ask the court to allow me to place that front page. Could you give your benefit, what was the date of that particular report? Or statement at the top?
July 10th.
And at that time, y'all were still, as far as y'all being basically deeply involved in Ely, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell what Mr. Reyes told y'all at the time of that particular report.
The highlighted section.
I like that.
Okay. Lieutenant Carradine I asked Jose how often he and Jimmy hung out. It was J. Lee. Jose stated that they did not hang out much.
As a result of that statement and a result of other interviews, did y'all find reason to go back and interview Jose Reyes?
I know there were other interviews with Jose at later dates to ask follow-up questions.
Now, as far as any interviews that you conducted, were you alone or did you do any interviews with any other officers?
Like, I didn't conduct that interview.
I understand. But my understanding is on 7/13/2022, y'all had a debriefing and I understand that yourself, Agent Stratton, and McGuire, I assume that's Shayla McGuire, and she an investigator at that time. What was her responsibility?
Yes, how it works at our department is we have 2 full-time officers assigned to investigations, and there's other officers that supplement investigations.
Okay.
So in other words, there's more than just those 2 people on call.
Okay.
So
And
yes, she's conducting investigative work.
correct me if I'm wrong, is that y'all were tasked with responsibility, that information that Jose had been interviewed again, and Jose had told them an individual by the name of Janelle Davis would have a lot of information about Jimmy Lee. Is that a fair statement?
Are you saying we learned that during the briefing?
No, after the briefing. Yeah, during the briefing, y'all were told that y'all were tasked to speak with the Janelle Davis.
I know we did speak with a Janelle Davis.
The purpose of that was because, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Jose Reyes had told in an interview that Ms. Davis would be an individual that could give y'all some information about Jimmy Lee.
I know during interviews we conducted, we were asking everyone, is there people closer or who was closer with him?
Okay.
And Janelle, we did, Stratton, McGuire, and I did go to Janelle's.
You present during the interview with Janelle Davis.
I was there at her house,
All
yes.
right, you have that report that reflects. They interviewed the lady, further to their investigation. They found out the man had given misinformation. They went back checked.
I don't know what the questions are anyway. I don't know what Ms. Davis had to say.
Can you locate the report?
Just find the report and I'll look at it.
Can you find the report?
On your copy, I'm just trying to find it quicker.
When you interviewed Janelle Davis.
I know, I recall, I wrote a report on that.
I got it now.
Anything to talk about,
Ma'am.
if you need to make a copy for you, you can get that.
I think I have it. I'm sorry. The one completed on 7/13 by McGuire.
Yes.
Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes, if you look on the bottom right, it says page number 59 of 103, 133.
That's not. My pages are different.
You
But,
should have marked for identification.
I'm thinking it was the same. It's the same. I think so.
What is it you marked?
marking the report.
Your Honor,
I'll have her identified.
Hang on a second. What is the mark?
The report she's referencing,
Captain report of who?
Captain Mayhew.
Your Honor, I would just ask that the witness actually, what's happening here, the attorney is identifying it. That the witness identify something before it's marked for ID.
Court
I
asked.
have hard time keeping what it is. Let her identify it, so I'll know what to write down on my little piece of paper here anyway.
No,
Okay?
Judge, she said, tell me what it was, so I told you what it was.
All right, what is, let her look at it, tell me what.
Let's have it marked for identification.
Okay, get, mark it for identification and let her, then let somebody tell me what it is anyway.
My approach on.
You may.
Captain Mayhew, I want to, you said you're located in your
I think it's maybe the same one.
same one we're talking about. Look at this D9. Compare it to.
This is Lieutenant McGuire's
Yes.
report. 22.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, this is Lieutenant McGuire's
that's correct.
report. Okay,
And
yes.
you along with, according to this report,
Shayla McGuire.
Judge, for your reference, you can keep it simple. Page 59 through 61 of 133. If you would, Captain, look over that report and tell me whether or not you fairly accurately depicts the interview y'all with Janelle Davis after Jose told y'all that she could give you information about. Appear to be.
Yes, sir.
And
It's a long report.
what was it that she told y'all after Jose Reyes stated that she could provide a lot of information? What did she tell you?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'm going to, where y'all see that walking today, but step back in there for a second anyway, and, y'all can, all right, what's the objection?
Your Honor, my objection is hearsay because in the report, I believe it says something to the effect of Janelle stated that she and Jay Lee weren't really friends. Jay's more friends with Jose, and she doesn't know why Jose would say that. My objection is hearsay because it's not in furtherance of the investigation. If that's what we're talking about, then we look back to the Butler case. The Butler case stated that you can't go into detail, which was the problem with when she was trying to say what Khalid said, but you can say like what happened. So the response is we learned that Janelle didn't know Jay Lee. But what they are attempting to do, and what they've been doing this entire time, is trying to testify for the witness and get into hearsay documents, having these things all marked for identification.
Back up one more time and tell me what is supposedly said in the statement that in the report has a statement from Janelle.
Yes.
What is that statement that we're referring to?
It's supposed to be that Janelle states that she was not close to Jay Lee. We know him, and she knows him because he's Jose's friend, and that Janelle doesn't know why Jose would say that she was close to him. I'm pretty sure that's like the summation of.
I'm gonna give the defense an opportunity to say, how's that statement used in furtherance of the investigation?
Thank you, Your Honor. My understanding is, according to the report she testified to, they went back and interviewed. They would go. Jose said, talk to Janelle. She knows everything needs to be you need to know about Jay Lee. After he said, we're not really that close. They go interview Janelle in this report, and she says, I have no idea why he would tell you all that. I don't know him that well. I don't have any idea why Jose would have told y'all that information. Basically, Jose misrepresenting to the officers his relationship with Jay Lee, first of all. And there's some other things in this statement that I hadn't gotten to yet as to they had Janelle talk with Jose.
Your Honor,
Let me once again tell you, ask you how did the law enforcement respond, if any, in further to the investigation of that?
Don't ask.
Do it.
I'll ask her what they did in response to that after they got that information. They ultimately cleared him as a suspect. That's not the point of the examination, whether or not he's being deceptive. And in the report, they state in another report that I'm going to get to next, they state in the report that Jose's being deceptive in his responses about his relationship and other things he may know about Jimmy Lee. The young man was ultimately cleared as a suspect. That's not the point of the cross-examination, Your Honor. It's whether or not he's being deceptive, he's providing information that's misleading to law enforcement officers.
Your Honor, it seems, from my understanding, that first we went into that Jose said he wasn't that close to Jay Lee or didn't talk to him that much, which was some moderate impeachment value, but in furtherance of the investigation. And then Jose said, talk to Janelle, which he could have been asked, but Jose wasn't asked on the stand. Now we're attempting to impeach the statement that Jose gave to an officer in a report that he didn't say on the stand. We're trying to impeach a police report with another police report.
I'm not going to allow you, for impeachment purposes, to impeach Jose on something you didn't ask Jose.
This is not offered for impeachment purposes. I didn't ask Jose that because it's in her report, Your Honor. They got information from Janelle. Janelle said he gave Janelle's name, then they go talk to Janelle. I didn't have to ask him that question. Under 8036, all I've got to do is say, in furtherance of your investigation, did Jose Reyes provide y'all deceptive information in your course of your investigation? Yes. What was that deceptive information? First, he told us one thing. We checked it out through Janelle. She said that was wrong. We went back and furthered the investigation to he was a suspect. He was clear, but it still doesn't get past the fact he was providing misleading and false information on the early stages of this investigation, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if they had just asked the question,
Have to
but
ask
that
the
maybe
question.
he.
Hang on a second.
I don't have to ask. It has nothing to do.
Hang on a second. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. If this person, if this witness is the person that is in charge from the University Police Department investigation, did Jose Reyes, was all the information Jose Reyes provided you accurate?
Truthful, not deceptive.
And
What was that based on?
and ask you what you're based it on. I'm gonna let you ask that. But we're gonna, let's don't go around the world to get there.
Your Honor, it has to be a situation the jury understands basically that there's statements from certain people.
But that's exactly it, Your Honor. He's trying to, you could just say deceptive information. He just said it right there. He's trying to get in substantively statements from other people that he could call. They're not here.
Judge, we're back to Butler now. It's the same argument.
I don't think it's necessarily this is in furtherance of the investigation. I'm not going to prohibit you from calling any witness you want to. I will ask you, let you ask the general question of, did y'all interview Jose Reyes? Was all the information he provided you true and correct? Did your investigation show that all the information was true and correct? No, it wasn't. But as to prove specific instances of incorrect information, I'm gonna let you call witnesses to put them on if you want to.
Your Honor, again, if you look under 8036, I don't have to do the confrontation clause, all of those things that are required. You would have to do that. I don't have to do that. As the defendant does not have to do that under the rule. Public report, contents of it, ask about, are not as accurate things that you do in furtherance of this investigation, are they reflected in this report? I will summarize the questions if that's what the court's telling me to do. It's going to be misleading to this jury if they say, well, they didn't.
All right, y'all step back. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to allow you to ask this witness. Did you get statements from Jose Reyes? Did you follow up on any of the information he got? What did you follow up on? We talked to that person. What did Jose Reyes tell you? Who you could talk to? He said talk to the female. He said they were close. Did she agree or disagree with they were close?
So
And if there's other instances along those lines wherein that something Mr. Reyes said that you think were deceptive, I'm gonna let you ask him anyway.
I want to be perfectly clear with the court, counsel officer. I'm not trying to advance the theory that Mr. Reyes is a suspect in this case. No way, shape, form, or fashion. That's not the purpose of the examination. The examination is early on, deception, he misrepresented facts, then could possibly have impeded investigation, gave misleading information.
I'm going to give you I'm going to give you some latitude in that regard, and I'll state can object when they think so, and I may fall if they don't anyway. I'm gonna say when we've gone far enough. Okay.
Again, they talk about all this download stuff, and everybody's secretive, and everybody's keeping things. That's their whole theory. What they talked about. I'm just trying to establish that it's basically throughout several witnesses that they talked to, they were.
I'm gonna give you some latitude.
Thank you, Your Honor.
To ask this witness, did you talk to Mr. Ruiz? Did he give you any names, somebody that might be close to
I think I can ask the question. Did you provide conflicting information from witnesses that were referred to you by Jose Reyes as the content of their statement? I think our say it's
I'm gonna give you some latitude with. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bring the jury back in. You can continue with your cross-examination.
Thank you. Captain, as far as you present during the conversations, several interviews, the conversation that you had with Janelle Davis, you were present during that interview, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Janelle Davis, Janelle Davis, correct?
So, yeah, Jose said that told officers that Jaylee and Janelle were close.
Basically, if anyone knew about the details of anybody having a relationship with Jaylee, it would be Janelle, correct? That's what he told you.
Yes.
All right. Did you follow up on that information? Did you provide it?
Yes.
Did you receive inconsistent information or contradictory information from Janelle Davis when you interviewed her?
We learned from Janelle that she does not specifically hang out with Jaylee and does not talk to him on a regular basis. What was your other question? What was your other question?
My question was, when you interviewed Janelle, did you find that her responses to the relationship that Jaylee, Jose told you about between Jaylee and Janelle, she denied that relationship, correct?
I think he alluded to a very close friends.
And she said they were not at all.
She said Jose has close friends.
Okay. I want you to go down to, middle of the page down there. I'll show you the line. I want you to read it first, then I'm gonna ask you a question. See where it says Janelle said?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered. She has answered what Janelle said.
Well, let me ask you this, I took it that she was reading from something there, is that correct?
Yeah, it's still parts of the conversation. she had.
If there's additional part to it anyway, I'll give you an opportunity to.
Thank you.
But you're all right.
If you read where it says Janelle said, just refresh your recollection if you need to.
I'll give you an opportunity to.
Before accordingly, read that, just read that for me. Not out loud, just read it and I'll ask you some questions. Okay? Then when you have an opportunity to read it.
Okay. Okay.
And that's still continuing part of the interview with Janelle, correct? That part of that statement that I asked you to read, right?
Yes.
Okay. And summarizing, basically, Janelle informed y'all that not only had Jose misrepresented their relationship, he actually came out to her house and informed Janelle as to what the law enforcement officers were doing, correct?
She said she did tell us that he had come to her house after his interview.
And said what?
It's basically explained to her what kind of questions we were asking him. Sorry. Basically explained to her what kind of questions about Jay Lee, his relationships.
In fact, what it says is,
Objection, Your Honor. What it says, it's testifying for the witness. This is a collateral issue. I think the point has been made, which quite honestly,
I don't know what it says, so I can't,
I'll basically to sum it up. Told her that they were asking about Jay Lee's relationship, sex partners, routines, friends, whereabouts, and contacts, correct? That's what Janelle told you, right?
Yeah.
After his interview.
Yes, after his interview, he did go to her house and explain to her what we were asking him.
All right, thank you. Did you find yourself involved in this same report? I believe you also investigated a lot of people early on. I mean, you had a lot of leads and things like that, right? I mean, people were calling
Yes, there were people calling. We were running multiple directions all at the same time.
all the time. You had an opportunity, did you not, to interview an individual by the name Timberland Pattis, right? Next page. You remember him?
It appears that OPD and Metro narcotics agents were interviewing Mathis.
Okay, he's got you down here as reporting officer. Were you present during that interview?
I'm not Shayla McGuire.
I'm sorry, excuse me. You're the proven officer.
I approve her reports because she reported directly to me. Whoever's
I'm sorry.
supervisor approves their report, so it follows a chain. So a
Understand.
lieutenant's report, I approve.
That's correct, I'm sorry. But you approved the report wherein Mr. Mathis was interviewed as well, correct?
I approved Lieutenant McGuire's report based on the information she was privy to, yes.
And did she provide that information to you individually, or is that something you just approved the report, typed it in, done with?
This I'll have to actually recall. I knew at one point, I did know about Timberland Mathis. I was not there actually watching the interview. It appears that Lieutenant McGuire documented her viewing of the interview.
Okay, you were not present during the Mathis interview.
I'm not gonna say I wasn't present. I was not in the room when they were interviewing him,
Okay.
and I'm not sure if I was watching it on the screen when they were interviewing.
You remember? I mean, you were sitting outside
I
watching.
No, I don't remember. I remember the name TJ Mathis because later we had to do other follow-up.
If you would, look at
interviews.
that report. It sounds like you were involved in that part of the investigation, what you're telling us about the middle of the page where it says Mathis seen, and read there from the remaining of the page. Tell me if you remember anything about the activity of Mr. Mathis after you had the opportunity to read that.
I per se don't remember. Lieutenant McGuire would most likely be the best person. I mean, I did approve this report.
But the
based on-
I guess I want to clear this up. The conduct that's identified on this report,
Yes, sir.
that's her observations, not yours.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yes.
thank you. Now, do you remember, you testified earlier that you decided to reach out to the previous roommates of Mr. Lee, correct?
We did reach out to Austin and Jamie,
Okay,
who were identified as Jay Lee's roommates.
all right.
Moved out in May.
Who are those two roommates that he had? They moved out in May, I believe, right? Sometime in May. All right. Did you interview both of those?
No, I talked to Austin on the phone, and I think Lieutenant McGuire actually spoke to Jamie.
As far as there was an individual by the name of Adams that I believe that you interviewed. Is that correct? One of the roommates?
I think that's Austin's last name. I'll have to confirm here.
Austin Adams, is that his name?
I think so.
Okay. Do you remember what he told you about Jay Lee's routine habits? He had hookups come over, we talked about hookups earlier. He had hookups come over to his apartment. You remember independently, before you look at your report, what he told you?
Say that again.
Do you remember what Adams told you about what Jay Lee's routine and habit was, things that he said about didn't occur when,
I mean, right off the top of my head, I remember
Okay.
without looking at the exact report.
I'll try to find it for you. Look on page 74 of your report, please, ma'am.
Okay, I think when I printed mine out, they printed out different figures.
Maybe 60, I'm sorry, 63.
What specific date?
That, I've got 7/14/2022 is the identifying date and 800 hours at the top. This report of Shayla McGuire, but it references the fact that you made contact with Austin Adams by phone.
I did contact Austin by phone, and I do recall in her report, she put that I put it on speakerphone. So she figured I was gonna find it. Okay, I do recall that I contacted Adams, I called him back on, put him on speakerphone. Okay, when I got it. I apologize.
It's D10.
Your Honor, likewise, I will send a copy of it.
If it's alternate for ID only, you won't have to clean it up.
Michael John.
Okay.
Captain, if you look at this, does this appear to be fair and accurate? Other than the yellow marking on there, fair and accurate report on that particular date, that particular page of the 133 cumulative report, does that appear to be it?
Yes, yeah, I just need to skim through it.
Report of who?
It's Lieutenant McGuire's report.
I'm sorry. It's 60, page 63 of 133, Judge. In the middle of that page, read that, where that fairly accurate is the phone interview that you had with the ex-roommate, Mr. Lee, on the phone.
Thank you, Sanjia. I just look. Ooh, the truth, I did not see you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Me somewhere. There's also a report. I saw.
Well, there's also restrictions. More restrictions down there. I don't have that report.
You're not backstage.
Okay.
I see you in the chat. Hey, Cam.
I also told you about police routine and habit.
Thank you, Sanjia. I just looked at my device. Thank you, boo.
At least the other witnesses, well, maybe first.
Hold up.
Trying to see if I just can't hear or what is they doing. Because I cannot hear. Oh, did we lose sound? Yeah, we lost sound. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I took it down, y'all. I'm bringing it back up so we can get our sound back. I appreciate those that still here. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. We live now, y'all. I mean, actually live. Well, I know that sounds funny, but what I'm saying is we are actually caught up in the courtroom. So we basically watching it happen live. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Is that you, D-True? Nah. D-True, what are you doing? Okay, let's see. All right, y'all. Let's see if we get sound now.
His place.
Right off the top of my head. Yes, that
I'll try to find it. Before report, please, ma'am.
Okay, I think I printed out different figures.
Maybe 60. I'm sorry, 63.
What specific date?
I've got 7/14/2022. Is the identifying date and 800 hours at the top. This report of Shayla McGuire, but it references the fact that you made contact with Austin Adams by phone.
I did contact Austin by phone, and I do recall in her report, she put that I put it on speakerphone, so she figured I was gonna find it.
Lean over the microphone.
Okay, I do recall that I contacted Adams, I called him back on, put him on speakerphone.
You find out before we- Yeah.
It's D10.
Your Honor, likewise, I will send a copy of it.
If it's ultimately for ID only, you want to have to clean it up.
Micro John.
Okay.
Captain, if you look at this, does this appear to be fair and accurate? Other than the yellow marking on there, fair and accurate report on that particular date, that particular page of the 133 cumulative report, does that appear to be it?
Yes, yeah, I just need to skim through it.
Report of who?
It's Lieutenant McGuire's report.
I'm sorry, Judge. That is 60, page 63 of 133, Judge. In the middle of that page, read that, if you want to take where that fairly and accurately is the phone interview that you had with the X-ray mate, Mr. Lee, on the phone.
Yes, there's also a report about me somewhere. There's also a report.
Well, I saw that said description, see, more description down there, but I don't have that report. You have that
I'm
report?
trying to,
But you, before you do that, you
okay,
tell the court the benefit of what Mr. Austin told you about Jay Lee's routine and habit, the way he conducted himself when hookups would come to the, he'd bring them over to the apartment.
Objection to hearsay, Your Honor. Because again, at least the other witnesses, well, maybe first.
Come on up. How many opinions? All right, so they get in there. But before we start making arguments, I want somebody to read into the record portion of the of this document that's in controversy, so that the record is clear about what we are.
I should read it.
Basically, it would start like this, Your Honor. explained that he'd seen the black male and a Hispanic male frequent the apartment with Jay Lee. Also said the Hispanic is female and feminine. And from his description, we believe that to be Jose Reyes. No question about that. According to Austin, the black male was masculine and tall. He said that during the time this black male frequented Jay Lee, they talked to Austin and said that he was in a relationship with someone that was very aggressive. Austin also said that he and Jay Lee shared a wall in their apartment, because their bedrooms on either side of the wall. And Jay Lee told Austin many times that if he knocked on the wall 2 times, it meant he needed help.
And that's what you're asking to ask this witness to read.
Austin said that a black male that frequented the apartment could be an aggressive person. Jay Lee described that the person Jay Lee described, because Austin said it was about the same time.
And my objection, Your Honor, is twofold. One, I agree that Butler can be done in furtherance of the investigation, but even as Your Honor limited it to, not what someone said. Because it says in the Butler case, you can't go into detail. It'd be one thing if she was asked, did you learn of suspects? We learned of another black male, but you want her to read the entirety of Austin Adams' statement.
I'm gonna make my reading. I'm gonna let defense ask. I'm not gonna let the witness read this entire paragraph. I'll ask you not to say that had Austin, did he report to you that there had been that he was in a relationship with an aggressive black man?
Told him knock on the wall.
I'll let you ask that, but I'm not gonna let you read the whole thing.
Thank you.
I think that
Thank you, Your Honor.
in developing prospects, in the course of your investigation and developing prospects or suspects, did you consider these? The proper application of Butler in considering suspects in the course of your investigation, did you receive this information from Austin? Okay, let's go through that. When
First interview was, I believe, the 11th, I believe.
The first interview where Lieutenant Carradine and I called him,
Right.
I was present. Well, yes, we put him on speakerphone.
Right. And did you ever interview him in person?
Yes, Lieutenant McGuire and I went to his house, his apartment one day.
Okay. And I want to ask you what's been hard for me today. It's D2. Your Honor, this is D2 already, but it is page 57 to 133. Keeping up with the pages, Your Honor.
this is D2.
It's D2, but the pages numbered on the report are 57 and 58 to 133. Would you look at D2 for me, please, ma'am? And actually, whether or not that appears to be a report indicating the interview between you and you engaged in with Mr. Fears.
Yes.
You hand it back to the policeman. Does it be fair and accurate? Does it appear to be fair and accurate as to what transpired in the interview in its entirety? Have you had opportunity to read the entire thing?
No, I haven't read the whole thing.
Please do if you don't mind, put it forward.
Okay.
I understand that everything that's going on here today, witness testimony is being live streamed. Make sure your witnesses aren't viewing the live stream. That would be a violation of the rule anyway. So like, everybody make sure that just because somebody's not sitting in the courtroom, that they're not watching this proceedings. Your Honor.
I've instructed our witnesses not to do
I
that.
just want to make sure both of you done that anyway. And reinforce it with them from time to time, okay?
She's got it. Oh, okay, she's got it. I didn't see it listed on
Ladies and gentlemen, jury, you may have noticed we've been playing musical chairs in the court reporter because I think the fingers are getting tired. We're doing a lot of talking every day. We got to rest the fingers from time to time anyway.
Your Honor, could you mind please look at that exhibit?
Go ahead. I would encourage you to do so. And while y'all are looking, I'll be right back.
All right, let's see. Well, I hate when they do this. This is the disadvantage of watching it live. But let me. Okay.
Yes. Have you somebody call James reports?
And I got a house code on TV when we talk that anyway, but it is sort of one. Mr. Clerk? All right, so you done all you can do. We're gonna flip the breaker if we have to. We'll override.
Sorry, there's a lot of moving parts in this report. There's a lot of moving parts in this report. Yes.
All right. That's your report, is that correct?
It's Lieutenant McGuire's.
You were present during the interview of Caleb Fierce.
Khalid, yes.
Yeah, Khalid, I'm sorry.
That's what I call it.
And the content of this report, accurate, fair and accurate, is everything, I mean, it's true, it's inaccurate.
I don't think it's inaccurate. No, I'd accept it for the
You
truth.
recall the conversation that y'all had with Mr. Spears and the information that he provided to you.
Yes.
All right, when he told you that that Khalid explained that Jack was that he and JB used to hook up, meaning for sexual acts of favor with other males currently in the area. He told y'all that?
Yes, I took it to understand is they both use their app to get hookups for each of them themselves.
And Khalid explained to us that JB uses apps such as Jack, BOK, and Grindr. Now, in your report, you've got Jack in quotations, BOK in quotation, and Grindr in quotations. Or in this report, it's your report.
Is Lieutenant McGuire's report.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, I was present. Yes.
You remember him making those representations to y'all, to you and Lieutenant McGuire?
About the apps they use?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Statement to the contrary would not be true with by Mr. Peters. If he said he didn't tell you that, that would not be true with him.
I mean, that's what he told us.
Okay,
It's
that's what I'm
documented.
Did he provide you any other information about routine and habit as to his hookups, who he liked to hang out with, things of that nature, right?
Like, you're talking about the sexual contacts with heterosexual men that don't expose that they have those relationships? Yes.
You go to that, right?
Yes.
Now I want to get you to Molly Bar, and during the course of your investigation, you ended up going to Molly Bar. Did you not, Kathy?
I did. Oxford Police Department was having a briefing out there.
The first time you made it out to Molly Bar, if you recall what date that was, and you would tell us who you remember being there.
I remember going out to Molly Bar with a briefing with Oxford Police Department, so there are a lot of officers there. I'm sure that's the very first date. I have to confirm it.
Would it have been on the same date that y'all located the vehicle at Bandit?
I don't know. I know at Molly Bar Apartments, I had a conversation with a tow truck driver.
And could you tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all did some searching out there, and according to one of the reports, y'all broke up into groups of 3 or 4 and looked around for evidence, correct, in that area?
If you're referring to, we broke up like to knock on the doors to kind of canvass the area for any witnesses or anybody that may have seen Jay Lee or other evidentiary items. Yes, we did that.
Okay. But correct me if I'm wrong, y'all put metal detectors out there, things of that nature?
I was not present
Not
during
present.
that day.
Was you there when they had the search?
I was not present when the metal detectors, I know Lieutenant Carradine, and I know Lieutenant Carradine was involved. I'm unsure Lieutenant McGuire may have been involved that day. I don't know. I was not there that day or something. I was not with them.
Okay, that would have been a different case. But the time you went out there, how many people searched, and was there a statement that y'all knocked on some doors, asked some people some questions, and you came across an individual by the name of Kevin Kozar?
Kevin Kozart. I don't think, for me, I don't think that was the first time I was out there. I think it was the second time Lieutenant McGuire and I went back one evening, and it may have been the same day. I'd have to confirm.
Well, a big report.
It's a
big
long
file.
time ago, yes.
But tell us about the contact with Kevin Kozar and what transpired out there. You talked to Mr. Kozar. How did it come to be that you talked to Mr. Kozar?
Okay, so I recall now, we went back out there to just like take more pictures of vehicles that were in the area to see if anything, I guess, was different. And we saw a couple of individuals that we knew from working on campus. We talked to them, and Lieutenant McGuire spoke to somebody as they were driving by, and I talked to the tow truck driver at that point. And the 2 individuals we knew from like working on campus, they told us Kevin Kozart lived out there, and we're familiar with Kevin Kozart because he works on campus. So we went to his door and knocked on his door and asked him, could he explain basically the lifestyle that if you identify as a male and you present as a female, to explain and help us understand that lifestyle. So
That was your understanding, was it not? Clear up a little confusion here that you were asking Mr. Kozar, explain the lifestyle of basically a man dressing up as a woman, right?
Well,
Lifestyle. Well, that's what Jay Lee was doing.
a totality of the circumstances. We wanted to know also to, have you ever seen Jay Lee at those apartments? And he talked about, Kevin talked about, I think I wrote specifically in my report, his snarky mouth.
That's to be honest, we approached.
I'm really trying to figure out why. Hold on, y'all. Maybe he's just silent. I don't know. Oh, okay. I see why. She irritated. She ready to go. They be talking to the judge. That's why I get silent. But she like she ready to go, baby. She tired. Look how she looking. She is overreached.
It's not your fault. I can't hear you. I can hear these other folks anyway, and you're doing your best. It's just not.
I'm trying not to have the jury here.
I understand. We're not putting you back in.
I want
This young lady's doing a fine job, doing what she can do, what she can in her case. Look to the jury and apologize to the jury. I don't think we need any of that type of conduct. Told the jury she was so sorry. Any type of that type of
I didn't see that.
Well,
So y'all put your right there from this point forward, anyway.
Your Honor, I accidentally gave her my pen in the bench, and I said sorry to him. But I never did that. I never did that.
Wow.
I'm just gonna, won't talk to Jerry anyway. All right, go ahead and tell me, I don't know what the contents of this report is. That's one thing about being a judge, I find out when the jury finds out, or sometimes before. But what is the controversy at this point?
Your Honor, the controversy is, my original objection, actually, when I came to the bench, was I thought they were trying to get into the record of the victim, but then with what he was trying to get into, it was just that people at Molly knew Jay Lee, those are new. Now you're trying to get into what they said, but if you actually get into what they said, Kevin Cozart and the other two people who work at the school that they interviewed there, they said they said that Jay Lee knows anybody at Molly Park, and they also said that they don't actually say that. Now my objection is that he is trying to mislead the jury. To imply that he said he was up there to make it seem like, Jay had no reason to be there.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. I appreciate that. All right, let me fix it.
It would not be unusual for Jay Lee's car or Jay Lee to be at Molly Bar Park. Would that be correct?
Yes, but I'm not saying it's unusual or not unusual. We're saying that during the course of their investigation, this officer, she was answering the question. I didn't elicit it from her, that she came across Kevin Cozart. She knew Kevin Cozart. He lived out there. Kevin Cozart knew Jay Lee. They were in a group together called Code Pink that I hadn't gotten to yet, and that's how they knew each other. Cozart knew Jay Lee. Jay Lee knew Cozart, and they were in a group together called Code Pink, and they had a relationship. He knew him and knew him well. Status, whether or not Kevin Cozart says he never came to the apartment or not, that's beside the point.
Let me. I don't know what the relevance, unless Cozart is going to say that it's not unusual for Jay Lee to be at these apartments or Jay Lee to Carr to be at this apartment complex. I don't know the relevance of who he might have known at those apartments.
Your Honor, he didn't know. Those witnesses say they.
I will say this.
I haven't put any witnesses on to say that. What witnesses is she referencing to saying that they don't know him? Kevin Carter. Cozart. He's trying to establish his car was found at Molly Bar. He knew somebody out there and had a relationship with that person. Your Honor, that's relevant.
Okay. Thank y'all.
That the Jay Lee, whether he had a friend at that apartment complex, would be relevant. I don't.
That's all I was trying to establish. Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to let you establish that that this at least one person there at the apartment complex was an associate of Jay Lee. You know, if somebody came to my, if if somebody's car was found across the road from my house anyway, well, you know the guy lives there, you know. And that's,
Saying this is
Your
one
Honor,
of
I
the
don't-
individuals they interviewed, you said that you, Jay Lee, he lived at the apartment complex.
but let's,
I've been
all
trying
that,
to get
let's.
Your Honor, I don't have an objection to
Let's
that.
get back to very simple, simple facts that anyway. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I don't have an objection to that he knew someone at the apartment complex. I have an objection to the misleading way in which he's saying it, because when we go to the bench, he changes when he comes back
Let's,
here.
Judge, I asked the lady the question, how, I never asked her another question.
Let me speak a little while. Let me speak a little while. I'm gonna let you ask the question is, did you interview, Mr. Kozar? Did Mr. Kozar did Mr. Kozar indicate that he knew and had associations with, Mr. Jay Lee? Was somebody that he knew in that apartment complex? And then we'll move on. All right? I think that's relevant information. Go ahead. Yeah. Bear with us. Told you to be some delay, blame them on me. But Jerry, to what most people think, most everything you've heard here for the last 2 days, I'm hearing it at the same time you are for the first time. And it's hard for me to make rulings on objections till I know what going to be said. And so that's part of the reason for the delay. I've got to figure out what they're arguing about before I can make a decision. And that's just the way it is. Some cases we had knockdown, drag out fights beforehand about specific evidentiary issues. But this one, I'm hearing it for the first time like you are anyway. So you may proceed along with court instructions.
Thank you. Captain, you were talking about, in your report that you identified, Mr. Kozart, you knew him and all that kind of stuff. Were you able to establish that Mr. Kozart and Jay Lee, knew each other?
He was familiar with other LGBTQI students on campus, yes.
And they were actually in a group together called Code Pink.
I'm not sure about being in a group together called Code Pink. He did say, he gave us the name of some other individuals. One was an individual who was the organizer of Code Pink, and to my understanding, Code Pink is
He was familiar with the fact that Jay Lee was in Code Pink.
yes.
That's how he knew. He lived in apartment 23 at Molly Bar, correct?
This is apartment 22.
22.
Yes.
Now you indicated that y'all knocked on some doors. Do you remember how many, were there apartments there that y'all knocked on that you didn't get a response to on the first time that you went?
The first time, I think that maybe in one of Lieutenant Carradine Jones or McGuire's reports.
And did you,
I was there. I was not actively walking around with each individual officer. I was on scene.
I understand. But when they got back together, there were some apartments that people weren't at home. And I think there's a report indicating that they were like talked to 4 people or 5 people in the apartment, but the remainder of the people in the apartments either at work or were not at home. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, I would think it'd be fair to say there were people not at home during that time.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you know whether or not any search warrants or any consent to searches were ever effected on any apartment in Olive Park?
I'm not sure. Again, Sergeant Douglas or either officer, police department officers.
Cool, can do it. Would, I missed one. Eli Davis, did you talk to Eli Davis out there?
I did.
You did? Look at page 39 of the report. Correct me if I'm wrong.
This is my report on July 11th. We stopped and spoke with,
I'm just trying to establish again.
Eli and Isabel. Her partner.
And Isabel Teller, right?
Yes,
At Molly Bar Trails.
yes.
Were you able to establish whether or not Eli and Isabel Teller had a relationship or knew Jay Lee?
Eli said he was friends with Jay Lee on like social media apps. And he said he'd never seen him in that area. I spoke, okay.
You were able to determine that basically that he knew nothing about him, he had a report due that week or something like that. They were at least friends on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, they were friends on social media and he believed Dr. Buford. Yes, he had a project due.
So it was not based on your investigation, based on what you, after your interviews with certain people involving Jay Lee's habits, his conduct, things of that nature. It was not unusual for Jay Lee to have hookups with strangers, fair enough?
I don't know how long of a time frame you want to call a stranger. I'm not, I don't get, you know what I'm saying?
People that he didn't know very well.
Objection, speculation.
I sustain the objection.
I withdraw the question.
What I'm trying to figure out is what his hookup with other people got to do with this dude. This is crazy.
Somebody had shaken nose. I'm taking your word for it. I appreciate that. Y'all run the bathroom. I'll give y'all.
Can I?
I'll give you. I'm gonna get a witness break too. She's been here for 2 hours. I am gonna take a job. Y'all want to stay right there?
What do you think of a matter?
Y'all want to get a break or you want one or not? Okay? No need for this witness to be here. This is.
Florida, you know, part of their job description is being an asshole. I'm just saying. All right, let's see, because we are just an inch behind. Let's see if they come back. Because we almost at 4 hours. Okay, they still on break. All right, so yeah, they're still on break in real time. They're still on break. So listen, y'all, we at 4 hours, so I'm gonna end it here. Wait a minute. Look like they finna come back. Well, no, they on break. Okay, so cause the judge still out. We at 4 hours. We're gonna continue right here tomorrow, y'all, and then we'll finish today out tomorrow. Then we'll go into tomorrow when live tomorrow is what I'm saying. I know, but I know, girl. Me too. But listen, we have 4 hours. I'm gonna end it right here. I appreciate y'all so much. Let me stop it because we're gonna start right here after their break tomorrow. So with that being said, y'all listen, I appreciate everyone that stuck around, that stuck in, that dropped in and hit the like button and support. Ooh, y'all supported actually really, really good today, and I appreciate that so much. Shout out to V Renee and Sanjia. I think that was it. Yeah, y'all too. Y'all did. Oh, yeah. I appreciate the blessing. So yeah, we'll start here tomorrow, y'all. All right, y'all have a rest, beautiful. I'll be back though. Am I gonna do the T channel or the after dark? Cause I got something I want to cover on the T channel. You know what? I'm gonna come back on the T channel. Okay, fun. Okay, boo. I'm gonna come back on the T channel in probably about an hour or two, y'all, because it's something I want y'all to, I wanna talk about over there with the Eva Q. So yeah, I'll be back on the T channel, and Yeah, I'll see y'all then again, and maybe at that point, probably most of y'all work week, not work week, work day will be over with, but still, it'll be a little after work thing. But y'all have a blessed, beautiful rest of the day at work, because I know most of you all are at work listening, and that's why I appreciate you being here. If you're in here and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and have a rest of your beautiful day. Okay, I'll see y'all in an hour or two. I need to try to eat some, but I'll see y'all in an hour or two. All right, and then I'll see y'all back here tomorrow, and we'll continue. All right. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful day, and until next time, thank you, Trey, for hitting the link. Until next time, True Siblings and State Gang, stand up. You too, V Renee. Thank you again, sweetie, for the blessing. I appreciate you. Okay. All right, y'all. Until next time, True Siblings and State Gang, stand up, and we are out. Y'all be good. Be good. Be good.